Hey, I want to make a quick kind of rambly video here, although I don't know how quick it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be rambly. It seems a lot of people are worried that since the government is shut down, that soldiers aren't going to get paid and they're going to have trouble making their bills, etc. Well, that's not the case with soldiers. Now, it's a case with maybe government employees and civil service people and, GS workers, stuff like that. They're non-essential, but soldiers are going to get paid. Now, here's the thing. Soldiers are paid on the first of the month, and they can also get mid-month pay if they want it too. I remember back when I was in the service, it was just the first, and then you had to apply to get paid on the 15th also if you needed it. But most people just took all their money up front. Now I think most people split it evenly, first 15th. And that's, general dates. If there's like a holiday or something can affect it a little bit, but it's the 1st and the 15th. Now for January, they've already been paid for the 1st and the 15th because the government didn't shut down till the 19th. But that's made a lot of people worry, they're not going to get paid in February. Well, that's not true. They're not going to miss any pay. And some people are like, well, if they're not going to miss it, at least it's going to be late. No, it's also not going to be late. And I'll tell you why here. Come February 1st, when it's time for paychecks, well, January 30th, the Army doesn't go, okay, here's the time cards, or the Marines don't go, here's the time cards for January, and then they hurriedly write out millions of paychecks for February 1st. That's not how it works. Military pay is pretty much set. You know what you're going to make. They know what you're going to make. So it is appropriated in advance, which isn't that odd. I mean, even the money I get from AdSense, the money I got like January, that tiny little check I got, it wasn't for money that was earned in January or even December. It was money that I earned back in November, and I finally got it in January. It's similar with pay for the military. They're not getting paid for the work they did in November, in February, but the money that they're going to be paid in February was allocated months before because allocations are done in advance. Like, let's say the money they got in January, that wasn't allocated in January. That was allocated like back in October or November through, automatic allocations for military pay from the government to the military. Well, now this money that they're going to be, their February 1st paychecks, those have already been allocated. That money's already in the hands of the military, ready to go out in checks on February 1st. They are not going to miss that pay. They're not even going to miss pay in the middle of February. That's already allocated. What they'll run into a problem is if they get to the point where allocations stopped on the 19th, and if they go enough months forward, which depending on which scale you look at is going to be, I think some people say it runs out in March, some say it runs out in April. But I think what they're saying is allocations, and the money for March is the last was allocated, which means that's the last time they get paid would be in April, if the government doesn't reopen. Now here's the thing though. If the government reopens, they're automatically paid all their back pay, which means the allocations for later get reallocated in. The amount that's in the arrears gets allocated for later. The soldiers still get their money. They never see a gap at all. But let's say the government doesn't reopen. It goes 2-3 months without reopening, which is not likely at all. I wouldn't worry about that. I would worry more about getting attacked by werewolves than I do the government staying shut for 3 months. But let's say it happens. Well, military still wouldn't miss any pay, wouldn't be delayed. No one's going to allow that to be too much of a black mark on their record. Because here's the thing. They don't have to pass a budget and they don't have to reopen the government to pay the military. They just have to pass a special spending allowance, a spending allocation, emergency spending bill, which is pretty much a rubber stamp type of thing, easy to do, and they would do it before they would allow the military to go without pay. So people that are telling you, the military's not going to get paid right away, that's wrong. It's just wrong. And everyone who's been in the military should know that. If you've ever had a problem with your paycheck, like say your housing allowance was wrong, or they didn't put hazardous duty pay on your check you were owed or something, and you go in and you tell them in finance that, hey, this is a problem, and they go, you're absolutely right, we shorted you. Well, they don't give you that money right away. They tell you, we'll fix this now. You'll get it in like 2 to 3 months. When it comes back around to what we put in now, it gets allocated. So there's a delay there. And anybody who's been in the military knows that. So don't worry about it. The military is going to get paid. Worry about a lot of other things that don't get paid. There's a lot of people, government employees, etc., that aren't getting paid, but the soldiers are not the people you should worry about. They're going to be fine. And the people that are like, if you're a soldier and you're having trouble making your bills, contact me. That's a bunch of bullshit. especially if they're in the military, because they know that they're basically just making a false offer to make themselves seem special. Like, look how great a person I am, knowing that they're at no risk of actually having to pay anything because everyone's still getting their paychecks. And plus, if it did happen that it went that long and they didn't pass a spending bill and a soldier got a month behind in his pay, he would eventually get his pay. And in that interim time that he's not getting his pay, as far as shutting off utilities, putting liens on properties, seizing properties, foreclosing, etc., there are lots of laws that protect veterans from that while they're on active duty. So don't worry about that even at all, because they're not going to go a month without pay, and even if they did, they're protected many, many ways. So believe me, I got into a fight with a bank once trying to charge me interest on a student loan while I was active duty overseas. So you're protected. There's lots of laws that protect you for that. So people who made claims like, oh, we'll help you pay, that's bullshit. There's millions of people in the Army. So what if 1,000 of them contacted them like, I need $100 or I need $500? What are they going to do? Write a check for $500,000, $2 million in a day? If so, they're making too much money off YouTube. But it's just an empty, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm not going to say it here, but go watch my live chat from last night. Go to about the 13.5-minute mark. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that's just self-aggrandizing, self-important garbage. That's somebody saying, I'm special, even though they're not taking any risk by making that offer. That's like saying, I'm going to feed every person in my town that this happens to, and then but the this has a little asterisk next to it, says that's hit by a meteor while being chased by a dinosaur, because you're at no risk, but you somehow make that offer that makes you sound great. So that's what all that was. So don't worry about the military not getting paid. I mean, worry about getting the government open back up, because this is ridiculous to shut down the government over DACA. I'm a firm believer of settling the DACA issue. I'm not a throw them all out kind of guy. I'm saying, hey, the ones that are here let's not get into DACA right now. Maybe I'll do a video later if y'all want to hear my opinions on DACA. You'd also hear it in that live chat last night. But as for the military getting paid right now, yes, they are going to get paid in February and beyond that. So, and the government's not going to stay shut down long enough for them to even need a special spending bill for the military. But if it was needed, they would do it. It's easy. They've done it before under different circumstances for different things. So don't worry about it. For all these people that are fear-mongering to you that the soldiers are not going to get paid, the soldiers are getting paid. Now, like I said, if you got someone that you know is a GS or works at the post office or something like that, they might get furloughed and not get paid, or they work at a public park or something like that. They might not get paid. Worry about them. But as far as our soldiers go, they're going to be taken care of. So stop worrying about it and stop listening to other people that are trying to make themselves sound special by saying they're going to do something for them, because right now, they're not at any risk. Come on. I know you're trying to sleep, but you got to go. Maisie's trying to take a nap on the ledge there while I'm trying to film. She's like, oh, you bitch, waking me up. You can't interrupt me. You got to go in the house. Come on. I know, you want to stay on the shelf. Go in there. Go bother the dog. You like to smack her while she's sleeping.